But let's flip this over to the other side. Let's talk about Zuko here because for me, I'm gonna be honest. I think Zuko was absolutely perfect. I'm not gonna lie. I thought one from just the mannerisms, but two, like his voice, honestly, even sounds like Zuko a little bit. And I thought he was unbelievable. In first episode, second episode, he has been the most dead on character for me. And I have been, anytime he's been on screen, I've been so excited. I'll kind of agree with Kyle that Iroh maybe not so much. Again, that's a beloved character. So the expectations are hard and the expectations were high for Zuko. Don't get me wrong, but this actor has crushed it. I think anytime Zuko's on the screen, I have just been like totally paying attention. I'm willing to listen.
I always knew that Iroh and Sokka were going to suffer the most from
Yeah.
I expected they were going to have to lose a lot of the comedy that was from the original, and I knew Iroh and Sokka would suffer from that. And like Kyle said, Iroh is like on a pedestal as one of the most beloved animated characters. His voice actor passed away while they were still coming out with the animated series, so people just love that performance as a whole. And this guy, I actually really like the actor in general. He's been in a few things. He's in The Mandalorian.
Mhm.
He's doing a good job, but they don't give him too much to work with again. I think he looks good. But Dave, like you said, Zuko is probably my favorite of our four main characters in terms of casting. I think he's got the moody teenager beats, but also he does a really good job in scenes with kind of facial expressions.
Mhm.
He looks nervous too when you can tell he's losing his grip on whatever situation he's being dealt with. So yeah, I think he gave a pretty strong performance through the first two episodes.
Mhm.
I won't add a ton. I'll just complete the chorus of praise for
Yeah.
Zuko. I think for sure I agree that he's been my favorite representation.
Yeah, and then we could just jump right into the fight of Zuko landing. He's like, "I am Prince Zuko, son of Fire Lord." I thought that scene was again. I
Yeah.
hear it in his voice. It was so good. But the fight honestly was legit to me. The highlight for me was easily Zuko's kicking. Like I think Aang knocks everybody to the ground, and Zuko's like from the ground looking up. He's like, "No way!" And he does that the iconic spiral kick, and he's
Yeah.
dishing out the fire. I was like, that was hot. That was definitely hot for right there. But overall thoughts, this was, I guess, we still haven't really seen the full effects of water bending, but we get a little bit more air here and some fire bending as well.
Yeah. And this is, I think, a good opportunity to discuss where there's a difference here in how this goes down. There's no otter penguins, which is
Yes.
perfectly fine. Like that's fine of a type of change. You know, Aang earlier left in the cartoon, rather he leaves kind of under his own volition. Him and Appa head out, and then he slides back on the otter penguin. I thought this was a perfect way to change it and make it more reasonable for the live action.
Yeah.
The movie I thought was like I saw it on my timeline I think yesterday of the movie scene of this, and it's just absurd compared to like what happens here. So I was like, okay, this is perfectly fine. I just
Yeah.
wanted to highlight like there's a change here where like it doesn't need to be one to one to still be good, and this
Mhm.
was an example of that.